The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Conor Commentary, a hilarious take on news, politics, sports, and current events. It's time to buckle up. Here's Conor.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Week 4. I have my friend Jason Martin here in the studio. So he's a local comedian. He does a ton of stand-up. He wrote for a comedic blog, or what do you call it, satire? A satire blog before?
Yeah, I think it's similar to Barstool, so it's like...
Right. What was it called?
Couch Guy Sports.
Couch Guy Sports. That's why I always thought of Barstool whenever I would see it.
Yeah.
So that's where I first found you. Obviously, I knew you before, but I thought that stuff was hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into first. I do the segment. So again, to Troll of the Week. I only had one person troll me this week. You guys are kind of slack, and I kind of wish people would talk a little more crap to me. I had one person, and it's so funny because they have the weirdest names on there. Like, I don't know if you've seen it. Like last week, I had like the Wizard of Loneliness. I had another guy who was like Bitcoin 2020 is the new currency.
Was there a Batman?
Batman was last week. The other ones were the week before. That's right. The guy was Bruce Wayne, and none of them have pictures. But this guy, his Twitter handle or name was Legendary Bat Speed. So I don't know. I guess
These are all bat related stuff.
No, it honestly wasn't. It was just junk. But like I tweet about Boston sports a lot, and he just said Boston sucks. And I'm like, what like a ridiculous statement. So I said something back to him. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you're talking about like the current situation of the Red Sox, which they still don't really suck. They're still a pretty good team, but they're just not going to make the playoffs at this point. So like if you're saying that kind of makes sense. But like the Patriots are absolutely unstoppable. Like the Bruins lost in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, and the Celtics are going to be nasty again. So Boston does not suck.
We won the World Series 11 months ago, I think.
And
I think we're pretty good.
What was it, 108 games?
Yeah.
People just hate Boston.
People make it a joke. I'm genuinely tired of having to go to parades.
Yeah.
People say, they're like, oh, like, I'm like, the Pats parades, February, like, sucks outside. Every year we have to go.
You almost have to schedule that into your Tuesday after the Super Bowl. You have to be prepared for that.
Then you just feel like a lazy guy if you don't go to the parade. Everyone's like, you feel left out, but like, I don't want to go to the parade.
Exactly.
We go every year.
You have to.
I'm good on going.
That's funny. All right, and then we got Beat Pete. So I'll get into my mom's picks. Just a recap, last week my mom and Pete Prisco both went 10-6. Pete, I know you see me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on there. I'm telling you. So guys, at this guy, he knows what's happening. I told him $1,000 donation to any charity he wants if he beats my mother. So they tied last week 10-6. So the grand total is my mom is 21, 10-1, and Pete is 18, 13-1. So we're 3 games up going into week 3 here. The first game is Tennessee-Jacksonville. My mom's going to go Tennessee. You see that with Jalen Ramsey on the sidelines, yelling at the coach? Not good. So, yeah, I'll go the Titans there. Atlanta-Indianapolis. She's going to go with Atlanta. We have Detroit-Philadelphia. She's taking the Eagles. Then we have Miami-Dallas. She is going to take Dallas. Wow, it's funny. On this, it shows you who's taking what. 0% of people have taken Miami. So I guess people watching the first two games.
There's a couple tough situations in the NFL right now. Who the kid has mono? What is it? Sam Darnold and the Jets, and the other kid snapped his leg in half.
Trevor Siemian snapped his ankle.
Did you see that? I almost threw up watching that.
Yeah, dude.
I can't watch it.
It was bad.
Yeah.
They already said he had to have surgery.
Was it a practice squad guy that went in after him?
I don't know where he was originally. I mean, if you're the third string quarterback, you don't expect to come in the game ever.
Oh my god.
Good for that kid. I mean, I don't know if he's pumped.
He kind of lit it up for a couple minutes.
He did all right for a third string guy.
Who was it? Jets.
Luke Falk, I think his name was.
But who did the Jets play?
They were playing the Browns.
Okay, so
that was Monday night.
I was betting weird player props that entire game, and
I hope you didn't take any Simeons.
No, I took Baker Mayfield over a touchdown and a half. Did not hit.
He did not hit
over a certain amount of yards. He did throw like 260 something. I took a couple weeks. I'm a prop guy.
Yeah, I hear you. You don't like to go straight up. All these picks are straight up. By the way, my mom's not doing the spread. We're just going straight, team for team.
I don't know. I'm a live better and I'm a prop better because I guess like the anxiety of having to watch the entire game and hit everything.
Well, you don't get as much excitement either. If you want it right here, right now, you got to do the live bets.
It's how you lose your money.
The best thing I saw about Sam Darnold was it was an Onion headline.
Yeah, which is that thing's hilarious.
Jets ban kissing in the huddle after mono diagnosis.
There was a couple signs the other day, girls saying like I gave Sam Darnold mono.
I saw that too. A lot of people are trying to take credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, good for her.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Oakland, Minnesota. That's another easy one. My mom's taking Minnesota. Then we got Buffalo, Cincinnati. She's going to take Buffalo. That should be an ugly game. The Patriots, Jets. Speaking of that, that's going to be a disaster. My mom is going to take the Patriots, by the way.
Do you know the spread on that?
I heard 21 points, which is kind of low.
We were at 19 or
19 last week.
The,
It was 43-0. So we'll see. Good luck to Luke Falk this week, man.
It looks like the spread's at 23 right now.
It's at 23. You just looked it up?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Over under is 43.5. I guess that's all the Patriots points.
I'm guessing they're going to guess the score is going to be like 43-0 then. 37-6 maybe.
Our defense is real.
The defense is unreal. And then, I don't. Do you think that kid Luke Falk is happy, or do you think he thought he was just going to make like $500,000 sitting on the bench and he's never going to get hit?
The third
string quarterback. You must think that's a great job. You know what I mean? Like you're never going to get in the game. They have to pay you like at least whatever the minimum is, like $480,000 a year.
Yeah,
and you just show up.
It can't be fun being like, and then who's behind him if something happens to him?
I have no idea. They got to get out there and sign at least 1 or 2 people. So we'll see what happens with them.
That's dark.
Because if not, they go to Le'Veon Bell. So he just runs the Wildcat every play, I guess.
So prop bet on Le'Veon Bell last week did hit because they kept snapping it directly to him, and I was like, let's go.
I saw he got 30-something touches.
Yep.
Good thing he sat out last year. 'Cause now they're beating his body to crap again. All right, then we got Green Bay, Denver. My mom's going to take Green Bay. After that, Kansas City, Baltimore. No one can stop Patrick Mahomes, so she's taking Kansas City. Arizona, Carolina. She's going to take Arizona. Wow. Well, what's his name might not play, huh? Cam Newton?
I hope he never plays again.
Yeah. He hasn't done well for me in fantasy.
He's
the
my
first 2
fantasy
weeks.
guy. He is.
Yeah,
he might go back on the waiver wire.
Yeah, he might have to, dude. I'm not happy with his first 2 performances. Yeah. When you cross people in fantasy, they're done.
No, I have Dak sitting on the bench scoring like 70 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, you can't have that. We got Tampa Bay Giants. She's got the Buccaneers. Seattle, New Orleans. She's going to take Seattle. Teddy Bridgewater couldn't complete a pass last week. That poor guy. That was tough to watch. Chargers, Houston. She's going Chargers. San Francisco. She against Pittsburgh. She's going to take San Francisco. Again, we'll see what Mason Rudolph can do. The Rams versus the Browns. She's going to take the Rams. And Chicago, Washington, she's going to take Chicago. So go Bears, dude. What a crazy game. You guys see the Bears?
I actually didn't see it, but my buddy, I guess everything I'm going to say is about betting. I think he got his heart broken.
So are you trying to tell us you're a degenerate gambler?
I am for weeks at a time. My bookie's basically like my psychologist. I just like he's winning money off me, so there's no way he can feel bad for me, but I'm constantly texting him like, hey man, I can't believe I did it. And he's like cheering me on. I was like, we have a very bizarre relationship. And I'm a big like, shut down my account, please. Yeah. He's like, okay, no problem. I'll see you like when you come back.
But hey, that's probably cheaper than like psychiatry, right?
It might be. Yeah.
So we talk to him.
We talk a lot.
He's like, I gotta keep this kid.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude. So how did you get started in the blogs? Because that's how I originally saw was like the one about Elon, what's his name? Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
The guy who started Tesla. And it was about how he started that the flamethrower. And then you said you bought one?
Yeah, I bought one basically immediately. I'm a big, I mean, I'm actually probably not that big of a Pawn Stars guy, but I definitely watch it. And I could just imagine myself like 2040, 2050. He blows himself up on a spaceship, and I'm in there selling that thing for $10,000.
So you're holding on to it as like a long-term investment.
I took it out of the box a couple times just to show people, but I have not lit it up. I haven't done much with it. Yeah,
that's what you need. It's like those like Beanie Babies that are in like pristine shape that like no one has touched this thing.
I missed out on a lot of the collectibles. I'm going honestly, all the way with this.
Yeah, I did too. Like I think as a kid I had like a Charizard. I had so many Pokemon cards. Now it's nuts because they're worth so much money.
They're back, right? Are they back,
dude? I think they're back, right?
They're definitely made some sort of resurgence. I think there might be new Pokemon, which I almost think is like kind of bullshit, but
yeah. Well, there's the Pokemon Go where the people run around and catch them with like a watch or like on their phone or something.
Yeah,
I never got into that.
I saw 2 people on a date the other day, and the girl was like catching Pokemon next to the kid that she was talking to.
Really?
I thought that kind of faded out too, but I guess not.
Yeah, I think it did. I remember I worked with a kid who had like one of the watches, and he'd go around and catch the Pokemon at work. It was pretty funny.
I played baseball a couple years ago, just on a summer league, and this kid on our team didn't play that much, and he's like, hold on a second. He would go behind the dugout and like catch like a Charizard or something because there was just a Pokemon behind the dugout or something. That they were everywhere. I didn't understand the game. But yeah, I remember he was always catching them. He's catching like the infield and shit.
He's like, oh wait, I can't time out. So then from there you got into like doing stand up. So you was telling me before you've been doing it for like a year now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I went to college at Emerson College for writing for film and TV. So I was always doing some sort of like screenwriting, but like that type of thing is tough to do it because you're just by yourself all the time. And like I would get really good feedback and we got a couple opportunities to do some stuff, but it's such a long process. Like writing a movie takes like a year sometimes, like if you between like all the drafts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like you go crazy. Whereas like if you do stand up, you get like kind of an immediate satisfaction or horrible feeling.
Yeah. Has anyone heckled you out there?
Not really.
Okay.
My first show that I did was at a bar in Boston, and I invited some of my friends there. And we weren't on like in a legitimate stage, so we were just kind of like level with the floor. And the first comedian went up, and this drunk dude from the crowd walks up to him like to go to the bathroom and goes, "Make me laugh." And I was like,
what a hardo.
Come on, the first thing. So that guy left when I went up, came back middle of my set, and they kicked him out in the middle of my set, which like somehow didn't derail it as badly as I thought it would have.
Right. So it wasn't like a huge scene where they had to throw the guy out.
They threw him out. Okay. He tried to fight someone. He kind of left by himself. They had to pick up his jacket and his beer, and his buddy had some stuff wrong with his leg, so they like helped his buddy leave.
Of course. The buddy's like on crutches. He can't get out of there.
That's basically what happened. Like, and they were both filming me like this with like their flashlights on from like 2 feet away. And I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, do you have to deal with that? People in the crowd, they want to put everything on Snapchat, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem like how like where I'm at in comedy, but yeah, like the big guys, like you film someone's set, you burn all their jokes. They might have been working on those jokes for 3-4 years.
Right, because do you use those jokes at a different sex than as a different crowd?
Yeah, so like I definitely have like stuff that I do basically every time. Like you have to have a routine just to go in. I've definitely gone up for him like, oh, I'll just say what comes to my mind. That it works less than you'd think. Like it's tough.
So you literally would wing the jokes?
I've definitely like tried to go up and like, all right, I'll leave like this little room for breathing here, but like
yeah,
there's no benefit to breathing up there.
So the majority of the famous people, like they have, I know there's the specials now. What's big, like Netflix, Hulu. Is Hulu do it? I know the Netflix specials and Comedy Central.
I think Netflix is a thing, but there's just so many places to put stuff out now too.
Right.
But like what I was talking about with screenwriting, where like it's just I got back into comedy because I was just so sick of like I still write all the time, but it's so sick of like just only doing that. But I had done stand up when I was like 19 years old, and it went well. And my philosophy was always like I would so over prepare that I was like. I heard that you just bomb for a long time, and I would always like eke out a couple laughs. So I took that as a success.
Right.
I was like, I'm never going back. Like I'm funny. I'll go back next year. And I would do it like once a year, like 19, 21, 22, 23. And then that last year I was like, you realize when you go every day, how much people are dedicated. There's a million, there's the same 100 people out every night, and they go from show to show. So I have a huge respect for people who really like grind it out.
You got to really grind, dude, because everyone sees the people get famous and it seems like they came out of nowhere. But then it's like you said, like you did it every night for like
you'll see like
years.
Some fresh face show or something on like Comedy Central, like the new guys of comedy. They've been coming
exactly
15
all the
years
time, right?
Yeah.
So you always see the people come on Comedy Central, especially like that late night where they get an opportunity, and then it seems like they came out of nowhere. But like you said, you were probably grinding with them for years out in the Boston scene.
Yeah, I mean, not me specifically, but yeah, those guys have been around and they're seasoned and stuff. Like you don't realize how much better you get just from doing it. Like it's not like you can be the really talented, really good joke writer. I think just like always doing it, you're kind of like always building it up, always grinding it back down, like just till you get really comfortable. And like you could tell the same joke. Like there's jokes that I've written that I don't even feel comfortable enough as a performer to tell yet because I know what they involve as far as like from a performance standpoint.
Right. How much of it is that? Because I know there's the jokes and then there's actually delivering the jokes. And do people, other ghostwriters? Like, is that a thing?
I don't think at the level I'm at. I think some huge guys might have people help them.
Right.
And like you have your buddies like, oh, is this funny? Whatever. And I think that's like a good, you know what I mean? Bouncing it off someone else. I don't know if anyone has like Drake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know in rap there's like the ghost writers and somebody else actually writes it and then they deliver it because they're so good at delivering it, but they can't write it themselves.
Yeah.
So where you're at, it's like you have to do both.
Yeah, and I think that you know what I mean? I think most people do both. I don't think anyone's really like taking other people's jokes or anything like that. And I mean, if you were to like steal somebody's jokes,
yeah,
that's almost like the worst thing you can do.
Does that happen?
I don't think so. As much as you'd think. I remember my dad said to me, he goes, this is probably the most insulting thing anyone's ever said to me. He goes, you should go online and like go to like type in like random comedian in Iowa and like find all his jokes and like take them. I go, first of all, I can write my own jokes. Like that's why I want to do this. Second of all, like thanks for having faith in me.
That wasn't very much.
You
like
should
a vote
go
of confidence.
steal. He also said to me, he's like, "You're doing stand up," and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What's He goes, "And you're using my last name to do stand up?" I go, "Our last name is Martin. Like that is 400,000 people's last names. Like what are you talking about?" But no, I haven't. They haven't come to a show yet with my mom or dad.
No,
no, because I just like it's scary. Like
you don't want. Do you not want them there? They just not interested in coming.
Say the F word from time to time.
That's frowned upon.
Yeah, we're a Christian family, so
yeah,
they'll come. They'll come eventually.
So what about political correctness? It's what every comedian talks about.
I was just gonna get. I was gonna ask him that. That's like a thing. Do you take that into consideration when you write your stuff?
I do because I'm kind of soft and I'm scared. I also have a philosophy where like there's so many things to write jokes about. Like you can write a joke about a banana, right? You can write a joke about anything you want. Like I don't want to go there until I have to, until I run out of other stuff. Like I definitely have some stuff that I'm like, like almost push it aside.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's people really like Bill Burr's new special I loved, and he goes at some people. I like Dave Chappelle's my favorite comedian of all time. Like it's tough, and then he comes out with this stuff, and then I got scared the other day because I was like, I like Dave Chappelle, and I thought someone was like mad because I said I like
because you like him.
I don't know, like I'm always just like looking like around. I don't want to upset anyone. I'm just a very like just trying to put my head down, and do jokes, and hope it goes good.
I mean, it's a weird time if you go back to the '80s.
Yeah,
anything was fair game.
Right. Who was big back then, Ed? So you into it?
Oh yeah. I mean, the '80s comedy scene in Boston was huge, right? So, I mean, the big guys then were Don Gavin, Lenny Clark.
Oh yeah, I know Lenny Clark. Yeah,
Tony V was around in those days.
Yep.
So a lot of them are still around.
Yeah, Lenny Clark's still around. He made it really big, right?
He had
I see him on the Red Sox a lot.
Yeah, he had a lot of TV stuff.
Right.
Yeah, he was on Rescue Me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, was him.
He shot a character in the stomach on Rescue Me or something. Yeah.
And then I think when he got out of jail, it was just when he lost all that weight, too. So
he went to jail?
Uncle Teddy was in prison.
Yeah, okay.
It turns out you can't shoot people.
You can't shoot him in the stomach, yeah.
Wait, is that on the show you're saying?
Yeah, okay. On the show, he shot someone.
He wasn't in jail in real life?
No.
Okay,
good. No, Lenny Clark did lose a lot of weight. I saw him recently.
He did,
yeah. I know him and Dennis Leary are big around here. Have you met anyone, like, famous out of doing
this? Not directly, no. Not doing this, writing a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But Tony V is in the softball league that I play. I got Rookie of the Year, no big deal. I actually think
NBD.
Well, they gave everybody an award, and I think they gave me that because.
Speaking of PC culture, so everyone got an award.
Everybody got an award, but everyone's award was funny except mine. So I don't know if they didn't know me well enough to like joke with me. But my bottom of my award said pending dues paid because I owed $80. So I got that all cleared up. I think I can keep it.
Who else is on? Is Will Noonan on that team?
Oh yeah, I actually met him recently. When I got to do Nick's Comedy Stop as an opening act, and he was one of the opening acts, and I met him, and then I did his show in South Boston recently at Capo. Yeah. He's a really nice guy.
That's funny. I just started following him on Twitter randomly.
Really?
Outside of this conversation. Yeah, and I just saw him. He tweets about the Red Sox a lot.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh, he's a comedian as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, this guy must be a Boston guy.
The nicest guy, yeah.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jimmy Dunn did comedy shows down at spring training this year.
Oh, really?
And so Will Noonan, a bunch of the Boston guys went down there for a pop-up comedy club.
Oh, that must be awesome.
Yeah, so I think Will was hanging around the Red Sox all the time, met some people. And
oh, yeah. If he was down there at spring training, he must have been meeting them.
Yep.
That must have been awesome. They're going to bring you next, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
They should.
I'll be there soon.
if they're watching this. But, like, how do you come up with your material? Do you like sit down there and like write it, or does it just like pop into your head and then you use it?
I don't really do that because when I've probably been writing stand up since I was 16. Yeah. So I got to a point where I got mad at myself. I'm like, I'm not writing anymore until I perform what I've written.
That makes perfect sense.
Because I was just like, I was so writing heavy and I wasn't performing it. I was almost like, I just wasn't using it. I'm like, I'm not writing a new joke until I tell these jokes. Yeah. Because like at some point you're like, what am I even doing this for?
Right.
But right now, like if I talk to my buddy and something funny comes up that like, I don't know, I make him laugh or something, I'll throw it down, or a weird idea. Like I'm trying to think. I just saw that they like these conjoined twins. This isn't really the joke, but like they're conjoined at the neck.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. So there's these two sisters, and they share one body, and they have two heads.
Oh, I've seen that before. There was a TV show about that.
That's what I saw.
Oh, it's a TV show.
So
okay.
I saw that TV show a couple years ago. Then I saw them on Instagram, and it was like, these two are totally unrecognizable now.
Yeah.
And I thought they got separated, and they didn't. And I was like, they're still pretty recognizable.
Clickbait.
To the point where I'm like, that became a joke, basically.
Right.
More or less, like that's like probably like the middle part of the joke.
Right.
But you know what I mean? You just turn that into something you can stay on stage and something that has a couple different punchlines or something like that. But it's usually stuff like that, like randomly will pop up. I'm not a great sit down. All right, what's funny? Like people are good at it. I'm not. If I was going to sit down, it'd probably be to write like a TV show, like a screenplay for a 30-minute TV show or making a movie. But the writing movies is just like...
You still doing that?
It could kill you. It's the worst, dude. It's just like... Because when I went to school, like you have all these cool ideas of like how the movies are made, and it's so much more formulaic than you think. Like something happens at 10 minutes in every movie. Something happens at 20 minutes in every movie, 35 minutes. So like it crushes your spirit a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I want to break the rules. I'll be the guy. Everyone wants to do that. And like, there's something to it. I think that they also make it formulaic so they can teach it.
Yeah.
Or so they like an executive can like figure out the beats that it should hit to see like, because if you're just getting random like jumbled words, there's like a story, this part's long, that part's short. I think it's harder for them to figure out, like they're trying to make it a thing they can monetize by deciding like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where
they're almost like planning the commercials for when it comes out on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Like that,
which it always meshes so well somehow.
Yeah.
It's like the it goes to commercial at the right time.
By design, movies. They're always like an A story that kind of goes through the whole script, and there's a B story for TV, and they just pepper. Like the B story would be like a smaller thing, and they'll just pepper them together. And then like they know when the commercials.
Oh, so they've built it by design because they come out to the theaters first, but then it's like, how does this work so well when it comes onto TV?
Oh yeah. Oh, the movies too. You're talking about. Yeah. There's usually like clear breaks in them and stuff like that. So you pick a lot of that up. But I'm writing some sketches and stuff. I'm gonna shoot a couple. I've shot some on YouTube, but I'm gonna shoot a couple more. It's just like I think I like to be able to do a lot of different things or try to do a lot of different things, you know what I mean? Like if I'm going to write a TV show, a movie, and some stuff you're like, all right, this doesn't make any sense in my movie, but it's a good joke or something, so I can use that as stand-up. I like to try to see where everything fits, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so they kind of all like play off of each other.
Yeah. Or like if something's like that's a horrible stand-up joke, but it's a funny conversation, I might put that in like a TV show that two characters are saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I love writing. I don't love performing. I like it when it goes well. But I someday would almost like even like to write, like you were saying, for a comedian, you know, maybe something like that. But we'll see. I definitely have grown to like performing a lot more.
Yeah, you do it so often. So like this week, how many times will you perform?
At an open mic, probably like twice a night, 3 times a night.
So like 14 to 20 times a week?
A little bit less than that, because usually Friday and Saturdays are like show nights, and if I don't have anything booked, which is pretty common right now.
You guys got to book them. Where can they find you, actually, if anyone's listening? Facebook?
Instagram's probably, Facebook or Instagram. Okay, Instagram. I think jmartin1000 is my thing now, because I was something more confusing, and then like,
you got to make it easy.
I was trying to get 100 or even 1, but that wasn't going to happen. Yeah. Jmartin1 was taken. Yeah, 1 through 999 were probably taken. So
they probably were.
I had to go for 1,000.
So if your dad's listening, there's a lot of Jason Martins.
Yeah.
So you're like, no, that's not my son.
Don't worry about it. They're not coming to our house.
Yeah. So, but the films that you would produce, would you just try and send them to somebody? Would you just try and do it yourself? Like when you write them? You've done some of that, haven't you?
Yeah, we got to write a web series. Shout out to Andrew Breen and Dave Caggiano, who do comedy with me. I mentioned James Franco's web series a lot, and they make fun of me. So get over yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
Basically, my partner and I got to write a web series for James Franco, and we thought it was basically.
Wait, that's the guy on Comedy Central a lot, right?
James Franco's like the 127 Hours, the actor guy. He's a pretty famous actor, and he just like, we wrote him, thought it was going to go unbelievable. It was season 3 of a web series that already is established, so it's not like it really depended a lot on my writing or anything. But then it kind of like, they used it they used season 3 to launch an app, and the app folded basically.
Yeah.
And like the way it came out wasn't that good. Like there was a lot of jokes I think were dropped and stuff from the scripts. The scripts seemed tighter.
But you wrote that stuff into them, you and your friends?
Yeah, it was cool. Like I
cool.
was in my bedroom in Salem and I got a check from James Franco and I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I basically said to myself when I went to film school, I was like, if I ever make $1, I'm good. Like I'll quit. That's fine. So we got some money and stuff. But like I came up with the Hulk in a sketch. They give you a premise and then you write the sketch around it. And like the Hulk wasn't in it. And then they must have spent like thousands of dollars to dress somebody up like the Hulk. And I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. But it's also soul crushing because like we got to make 7 of them, or they made 7 of the scripts that we wrote, to the point where like you get to have they almost wrecked all 7. This is kind of crazy to say, but like all 7 weren't like what I thought they were going to be. So like you hear of people selling a TV show and then the TV show is not great, or like they're not as good as the script or whatever. You know what I mean? You always kind of feel like that with writing. And there was 7 of them, and it was even more like kind of crazy because they didn't go anywhere after. Like the app, I think, failed. I couldn't even find
What was the app?
It's called Black Pills.
What was it supposed to be? Black Pills. It sounds like an erectile dysfunction. Like Black Pills.
I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think the idea of it called Black Pills was supposed to be like addicting, which almost seems like messed up to me in general, but like
they're going to be addicted to your comedy.
I have no idea. It was all supposed to be like almost what Instagram TV is.
Okay, yep.
But Instagram TV did it. So like, it was an app from France, and then they brought it here, and it was supposed to be like launched in America, and they were using an established web series already. But yeah,
and at that point, they were probably trying to compete with IGTV.
Yeah,
that's what's called like IGTV, where you can do the longer form videos on Instagram.
Yeah, so it was probably a year before that. 2 years. It was a few years ago now. But yeah, and then and you get this level of not success, but what you think would be like something awesome. And I was like, you know what? I want to control. And that was another thing, like controlling a lot of what you write. Like comedy is just my stuff, and then I say it, and then if it doesn't go well, I can't go home and be like, God damn it, Mom, like it's your fault. Like it's my thing.
Because if you put it out there, then they can interpret it or change it however way they want.
It's weird, and you hear about that all the time, which like there's no way to stop that. Like that's the nature of how it works. Like it could have been better than my script. I don't know, but like I had a different idea for it. So, and that's why I do like to write some small stuff for YouTube and then put it out. Like I shoot it, but I'm not like a great cinematographer or stuff like that. Like I can make it, like direct it, but like there's a lot that goes into like cameras and a lot that goes into sound and stuff.
Right.
And, like, there's a lot.
Look at this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to have Ed here. I don't know what we would do.
I did a podcast with my buddies for
for
a couple weeks, and our desk was a tipped upside down box of cups. And this is like I was a sports center, basically. I don't know. First time I saw this, I was like, "Where is Conor?"
Yeah. I told him, like,
it's like Bristol, Connecticut.
I'm in Salem. I'm like, huh?
He goes, "I'm above a cigar store." Yeah. I was like, "This is unbelievable. This is the coolest thing in the world."
He's hit the big time now.
This is big. I mean, this is the most official thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. So we got that going for us. Yeah, but I guess when you put it out yourself, though, like you were saying, it's so much better because you can actually like do it exactly how you want it, and you don't have people behind the scenes kind of changing things or telling you what script you have to follow.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you'll always have some sort of compromise. It's a really collaborative medium. Any of this stuff really is. I mean, other than technically stand up, but yeah. I mean, I want to just be constantly making stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if it's a stand up or if it's a movie or I'm writing it. I'd like to direct. There's certain stuff that I don't think I really want to act in anything.
Right. I mean, that's like almost a different game, right?
Yeah. And I just want to be involved in always doing something. Like I'd be happy doing any 3-4 of those things. Like even if one of them popped and like I could write, that'd be fine. So
right. You're just passionate about it.
I like doing it. Yeah. And it's just like, it's a cool, when I went to Emerson, it was kind of like out of the blue. Like I went to UNH for a year and a half. Realize you don't have to do anything in college to get like B's. It's a very easy like system. You don't have to do much. I don't know. That's a whole scam. But I was like, you know what? I didn't know a lot about Emerson. I knew that they had some writing, film, and TV there. I actually kind of wanted to do directing, but I think I had to like shoot something, and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to be a writer. So when I got there, that was a cool experience. You meet a lot of people. I think like the guy who made Simpsons' son like was there a little bit before me and stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that. So it was just a cool environment, completely different. Like I don't think the kids there were like expecting to see like me. I almost looked like the kid was like a jerk to them in high school. Or something like that.
They're like, oh, he's here.
This fucking kid's back. Yeah, it's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it'd be like the people who would be in like the play or something, right?
Yeah, like, it was just a lot of. It was like artistic kids, and stuff like that. And I remember I wrote something for what was it? A screenwriting club that they had like after classes, and there was like 100 people in it. And I gave you like pour over these scripts. So I wrote something, and then you pick people in the class to read it. or in the club to read it. So I was like, you read this part, you read that part. They read it. People were laughing. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And the president of the club at the end goes, hey man, you don't suck at writing. And I was like, well, I came to college for this. So like, that's the meanest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like,
they're getting back at you now
for being bigger than them. I got picked on surprisingly. Like, I was almost like they were real mean.
That's why you have to go to that's why you got to go to the bookie for the psychology now.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, they're being mean to me again. I want like $200 in the chest.
Yeah, you got to go with the Patriots this week. So when's your next thing? Like, when's the next stand up? Where can people start finding you?
I'll post it on Instagram. So it's jmartin1000, as I've told you guys. But I'll usually put them up. I got some random dates. I gotta double check when they are and stuff. But
it's usually out of Boston.
Yeah, right around basically in the city for the most part. Maybe Somerville or Cambridge or stuff, but it's usually right around there.
Right, that's where the scene is, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's a cool scene. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
I mean, there's so many big people have come out of Boston, and there's such a good culture of it.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
He went to Emerson randomly.
Did he?
When he was like 26 years old, I think he was like had been doing something random and then ended up going to Emerson. But yeah, I mean, if you actually type in like comedians from, because everyone goes through New York usually or goes to LA.
Right, New York,
but like
and LA.
From this area, there's like 30 and they're all huge.
Right.
So like I think Conan's from around here. A lot of people.
I think he is.
Jay Leno's from what, Andover?
Jay Leno is from Andover, yeah.
Yeah.
Then they all went to be huge. So you're next.
Oh yeah, it's me. Right after Jay Leno's me.
I hope so.
Same name.
We'll be rooting for you. All right, guys. So J Martin 1000 it is, right? I want to make sure we get it right. 1000. Yeah. There we go. So if you guys see it on Facebook, please like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, do the same thing. We'll be here every Wednesday night. All right. See you guys next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.